Good morning, gang. Day 47 actually, not day 45, because me and Mum doubled up, didn't we, Mum? Actually, come here, Mum. Who doesn't love
have
a
you ever
mum,
noticed
right?
how when you get really excited and you're getting into something that you actually lose track of time?
Track of time,
And
that's
guess
what we
we
did.
lost track of numbers.
We did. Mum, you are looking very radical today. Can I show something to the audience?
Oh yes,
Oh.
do have a look at my little booties.
Did you buy a house a little while ago?
Yeah, you and me bought a house in
Oh, we
March,
did,
didn't
didn't
we?
we?
And
Oh.
guess what? We got it through Rams, and guess what? They've donated to us as
Oh.
a gift. Come have a look down
Come have
here.
a look. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, the cutest little things. And they got that little Rams thing on there. It's adorable. Who doesn't love that, right?
So where maybe if you've got a business that you could give what we call exceptional customer service, or just have something that is totally way off beam you wouldn't even expect. You know, you've heard of flowers being delivered or whatever. Really, a pair of slippers? I was going to go out and buy some this next week, because being around the house a bit more, I'm freezing all the time and I don't want to wear thongs all the time. And I go, no, I don't have to.
Happy days, Mum. I like it. Well, should we start with your habit? And then I'm going to do a little bit of a distinction on my board behind here about motivation.
There's been a bit lacking, haven't you? Well, you noticed there was a bit of lacking this morning and just started delving into it, didn't you, son?
I did go into that, but we won't dwell on that too much. I will get onto that in time. But can you share with me, Mum, your magical thing you've got on the table there? Oh, shall we have a look just while we're over at the table, actually? We've got a couple nice little books here. We've got Screw It, Let's Do It by Richard Branson. A good read, that one there. And we've got Will Durant, winners of the Pulitzer Prize and the Medal of Freedom, the greatest minds and ideas of all time. Great reads, getting into those at the minute. Right, back on track. Mum, can you create with me what you've got for the day?
Well, you know, have you ever noticed that you've got lots of things on the plate to do and you just see them as a bit of a burden and yeah, a bit of lack of motivation, you know? Well, I was Googling, and guess what? There's a Snakes and Ladder for health.
Oh, is there really?
So, you know...
No way. Give us a look.
It's like, let's create a game that makes it more fun and cherishing. So, you know, what I've got on here is some of the squares go like... unable to detect onset of disease. So you go down the snake and then there's a negative. And then on the up route, like consuming fruits and vegetables per day, you go up the ladder, low levels of cholesterol and triglycerides. So, you know, I'm going to take on playing this game with my grandsons. And when I've got a negative, it's like, go and explore what those things are. Like, you know, high cholesterol. Okay, so what sort of foods? Start doing some exploring on that and create a game so I've got more education about what is important to me.
I love it, Mum. That is incredible. Move up in life with healthy habits. Fabulous. Mum, my habit today is I'm going to do 20 push-ups every morning. Going to get up and I'm going to exercise. I know, crazy for me, because I am very, very good at being lazy if I can. But I'm going to just do 20 push-ups, get in action. I suppose pump some iron, might develop some guns, who knows, on the healthy bandwagon. Not that I've got any love fat, I don't have too much of that, I don't think. But anyway, going to do some push-ups, and that's going to be really exciting. Shall we start the distinction now, Mum?
Yeah, let's have a look. What do you got back here?
Well, let's have a look. Let's have a bit of a running dialogue as we go through this. We're talking about motivation. Now, motivation is made up of a lot of different things. It's made up of expectancy, it's made up of instrumentality, and it's also made up of valiance. Now, what's really important, and what does this mean? This is just crazy, Mum. Do you know what this means?
No, do fill me in.
Fill you in. Okay, no worries. Well, so expectancy is kind of like effort, and then how that's likely to then lead to a reward, so the performance. So if I actually put in the effort, let's have a look at my example. I reckon let's make this real. So my thing at the moment that I'm looking into is I'm looking into my business and how being super lazy in growing it. I know that it can be a lot more successful, and I actually know that it'll generate me a lot more money if I actually want to, but I'm just a bit lazy about that. So I actually expect at the moment that if I put the time and effort in, I'm going to build up my clients. It'll be a bigger base. I do know that if I put the time and effort in, I expect I'll get a result, because I can lead to performance. Instrumentality. So if we have a look at it, so how much is the thing that you're going to do? Is it going to be instrumental in you being able to achieve that? So essentially this is like your self-confidence. So equals self-confidence, self-worth, your ability to be able to succeed. Have you got the tools in your armour? So let's maybe put that in there. Oh, self-confidence, really good. Now we've got valiance. Now valiance is your value essentially. So what do you value in life? And I noticed that I think the biggest limiting factor, Mum, and you might agree with this, is I love being the underdog. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, you like coming back from the back foot. I mean, have a look. How many people do an Ironman in 5 months training? I mean, people go years in preparation and training. Oh my God.
So yeah, if I am not an underdog, I do not have any motivation. I hate doing things that is expected of me. In fact, I just made a phone call before with someone which it was expected of me in my calendar that I would do that, and then I feel constrained and constricted once I am tied down to that time slot. So my biggest thing is valiance. What do I value? Now, I don't particularly on board there, so I don't particularly value just the money. The money's not important enough for me to do it. I don't, what do I really value? I think what I do value is a bit of a challenge. So what I'm taking on is a lot of small steps. And Mum, you know what? Maybe I'll save this one up for tomorrow and do it today anyway, but remember how we talked about successful people? 14 of the habits that successful people do. And what they do is they don't have to-do lists. Believe it or not, 41%, only 41% of things on a to-do list ever get done. What do you reckon?
Well, I can personally agree to that.
I'm guilty. If you're guilty, well, I'm so guilty, right? So 41% of things on a to-do list get done. What they instead do is they put them on the calendar. They put them on a calendar, in your calendar, so it gets actioned and gets put in so it gets done. Brilliant as well is they touch things once. They touch them once, Mum, only once. So if you've got an email, anyone ever, let's raise of hands here, guys, raise of hands. Have you ever saw an email and gone through it twice because you didn't want to deal with it the first time?
That's going to take longer than I've got right now.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty. All right, what about who here has got a voicemail? Like a voicemail come in and you decide you didn't want to deal with it right then and now, so you leave it to later. Anyone? Show of hands, show of hands. Boom. Another one, right? So there's a few
Failure
things.
again, isn't it? Failure.
So-
Failure to perform.
Well, how we can use this to really motivate ourselves, right, is you've got to be, those people that grow up in, say, wealthy backgrounds, those that get told that anything, the sky's the limit, money's, not an issue. They expect that they can actually achieve a lot of these things because they expect it. Normally speaking, if you don't expect that you putting the effort in will lead to performance and then get a result, you won't do it. That's the first thing. Most people can't get past the E. The E is the most important thing. Then you've got instrumentality. So how much is the thing you're about to do going to then lead in towards you, for instance, getting the result? So if I've got the self-confidence, self-worth, and ability to take on the coaching, that I can then produce a result with that and then keep producing more business, in my case. Right, valiance. How much do I value the coaching, be able to make a difference to that person, the money I'm going to get, the whole scheme of it all? How much do I value that? Add all those together and then you come up with what this thing is, the world of motivation. How about that, Mum? Was that any good?
I like that, Sunny Bear. So what are you taking on today? What are you going to take on as to do for the next 21 days, 46 days, for the rest of your life that's going to empower you to be the person you know you can be with no limitations?
Rightio. I love what you're saying, Mum. Challenge is there for you. Will you be in action? I invite you to, and a request that you do something to make a big difference in your life. That's what we're out to achieve. From us, Mum.
That's over and out.
Goodbye.
Till tomorrow.